because sometimes things are said that people want to re-say again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough year. It's been a great year. There's been a lot of money made. There's been a lot of deals done. There's been challenges. We've had some problems, and real estate investors as a whole have complained. They have made money. They have complained, and they have not made money, and they have complained. Show fans, if you understand, real estate investors are very good at complaining about things. It's what we do. Oh, man, 10 it again. Oh, man, they're a little late. Oh, damn. Interest rates. They can't find any deals. Can't find deals. It's so frustrating. The realtor won't get back to me. The contractor's overcharging me. There's a lot of things for us to complain about. And so throughout this year, we've had challenges. Show fans, if you had some challenges in your investment career, in your business career, scaling up. This year at the summit, we were going to address all of the challenges. That is the goal at the summit this weekend. Coming up, we are now 6 days away from the summit for some of you. For some of you, we are 5 days for our VIPs. Let's give all of our VIPs, very important people, a big round of applause. If you are VIP, flex in the camera. I see you. We're going to crush it on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to go into scaling. We're going to drive our way all the way through Wealth Principle 52. Actually, before I do this, I got to do this the right way. For those of you who are new, hello. This is the 52 Weeks of Wealth. For those who've been with us for a long time, welcome back, Alchemists. This is the 52 Weeks of Wealth for myself, Walter Morello. This is literally Wealth Principle 52, which means we've been doing this for 52 weeks, an entire freaking year, developing strategies to increase our income and develop and increase our net worth. Show fans are committed to making more money and doing less work. I don't have my normal prop where I pull the cash up. I'm like, let's make more money this year, but we're going to do it this year. I also don't have my cup. This is 100 millionaires. So Billy Roy, if you could lift up the cup and just say, we're building 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Billy doesn't have a fixed cup either. So this storm has been horrendous. I am not in Tampa today. I am actually in Ocala. We have to drive an hour up so we can get power. So I don't feel powerless anymore. I feel like a man of power, and we're using no PowerPoints today, ironically. But this weekend at the summit, there will be a handful of PowerPoints. I just want to make some commitments to you. One, I will do a PowerPoint that shares how to become financially free. Show fans if you're interested in that presentation. Be there early on Friday. So I will do a presentation on how to increase the likelihood of your financial freedom in a shorter period of time. So how to take it from 10 years to get there to maybe 2 years or 1 year, depending on where you're at. Actually, let me caveat that. Not depending on where you're at. Financial freedom is 100% dependent on how hard you're willing to work in a short period of time and how much risk you're willing to take in a shorter period of time. So you can do it in 3 months, you can do it in 3 years, you can do it in 30 years. The average financial planner will tell you it's a 20-year plan. Most of our folks do it within 2 to 5 years. So let's give everybody on our call a round of applause who's financially free, who is a millionaire, who is on their way to becoming a millionaire. So the 52 Weeks of Wealth Principle 52 is Sharpen the Saw. And Sharpen the Saw is a principle that comes from one of the books that most business owners, maybe not real estate investors, but I would say most business owners have read. Show of hands if you're familiar with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Excellent. Yes, Stephen Covey wrote the book. So that is our book of the week. And I believe if Mitch Jorsky is on or Michael Stein is on, which I don't think either one is on today, then I believe Billy Reuters is going to be giving us our book of the week. A nice review on the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Excellent. I want to get that out of the way. So as we're going through this principle, this is a principle that ties up all the other principles. The sharpen of the saw is something that we easily forget as entrepreneurs. We're going out there and we're increasing our income, we're doing our work, and we're handling objections from customers. We're acquiring assets. We're getting our tenants, our units filled. We're turning units over, getting contractors to increase income. We're selling every single day, selling somebody on something. It's easy to forget that sales is a skill that we had to pick up. It's easy to forget that evaluating properties is a skill that we had to pick up. If we don't sharpen that skill, we could end up with bad deals. Negotiating with our homeowners, negotiating with our property managers, and negotiating with our tenants, negotiating with our banks. These are skills that if we don't sharpen our negotiations, we end up with subpar negotiations. When there's a chance for you to get a loan at 6%, but you end up getting it at 12%, it's usually because you didn't negotiate well enough, or you didn't search out enough people to get to that lower, cheaper, more affordable capital. Show of hands if you've heard of people doing loans at 15%. Has anybody ever heard of a 15%? Yeah. I have loans that I have lent out to people. People pay me 15%. And the reason that is because they didn't have somebody else in a pinch, right? If you don't have another relationship in a pinch, then you end up getting whatever is available. And I've paid 15, by the way, I paid 16% interest because early in my career, I needed a loan in a short period of time to buy a house. It was an amazing deal. And I bought that house and I made $70,000 when I flipped that house. So I'm not sad about the 16% interest I paid. I only owned the house for a short period of time and I made a lot of money from the interest, from selling the property, paying the interest. So fans, you understand there's times and a place for high interest. You can do it this for sure, time and a place. But with great negotiations and great relationships, you can bring those interest rates down over a short period of time. You can build a much better situation for yourself. So we're going to talk today about all 52 wealth principles. We're going to quickly review all 52 wealth principles. We won't do it I'm not going to go in full wealth principle you, but I will remind you of what we've accomplished this year. Wealth principle 52 is a reminder of the past and an opportunity to look at and predict the future and say, okay, when I come up to that principle, I'm going to be more prepared for it. And we're going to start at the very beginning of the wealth principles. The wealth principles is, by the way, as a reminder, where they came from. These are principles. These are not ideas. These are not theories. These are not techniques. Principles are laws. They are around you no matter what. And if you're looking for a very specific goal, you need very specific principles in order to help you get there. Not all principles are necessary for success. Not all principles in the world are necessary for a healthy body. Not all principles in the world are necessary for very healthy relationships. And I'll add this fourth one. Not all principles will lead to your happiness. Show of hands if we understand. They are separate targets, separate goals. Now, very clearly, I want to emphasize this community's purpose is financial freedom. And then we throw in financial freedom for all because, hey, big, hairy goals. Show of hands if you are clear, or type in the chat. Don't show hands. Type in the chat if financial freedom is something you're seeking. So type yes if it's something that you believe is an admirable goal. It's something worthy of a person's time. It's something that should be sought after. So type yes in the chat if you believe financial freedom is a worthy goal, a worthy aspiration, something that humans on a planet full of monetary needs should have attained, should have worked towards, should invest time into, should invest time, money, effort, knowledge, education, relationships in that direction. Type yes in the chat if you believe the financial freedom is worth fighting for. Awesome. I love it. Yes, for sure. Yes. Highest aspiration. I love this. I love it. Love it. I agree. And that's why we built this community. So in order to effectively use the 52 wealth principles, we have to look at how does financial freedom be created? How is it in itself created? What makes financial freedom anyway? So the first step to financial freedom is this concept of freedom, understanding what it even is. So the definition of financial freedom I've heard from this community and from when I've spoken on stages inside this community, it has been to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. Show of hands if you can agree to that definition for financial freedom. Excellent. So technically, you were born with financial freedom. Technically, all of us were born with the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want, with whoever we want. My son is 4 months old, and I can see what that leads to. Not much. Not much is created because his limitations to his physical body. Show of hands if you have seen a little infant, seen a baby, and they just can't do much. It's like the world is exciting and interesting. And I think that we all come into that space. Then at some point, you have all of your faculties, most of your faculties. I would say as teenagers, we believe we have them all. And at some point, you have all of your faculties, or you believe you do. And you still don't have power to do a lot of things, but you don't have to work. Show of hands if you remember not having to work. Some of you are like me, I started working at 12 years old. So it was like pretty early, but there was a point, there was some blanketed time where somebody else covered all your expenses. Yeah, parents in most cases. Some of you, the government, but somebody was covering all of your expenses for a short period of time. And you didn't have to work. You had to do whatever you want, whenever you wanted, with whoever you wanted. Show of hands if you remember those days. Thought some of that was pretty good. Some of you were like me, like, I'm glad I had to fight. I wanted to get out of there. It was not the best time for my life. But there's some parts about it that were pretty damn good, right? I didn't have to go work. I didn't have to do things I didn't like. I got to eat, drink, be merry all the time, basically. I had my parents complaining that the fridge that they had was always being emptied out by me. Show of hands, if you've emptied some fridges in your life, you've emptied them out. All right. So financial freedom. Let's say it's almost like going back to childhood, except you get to decide whose house you're in. You get to decide who you're spending your time with. And so for some of you, that is getting back to spend time with your family. For some of you, it's maybe creating new families. Financial freedom, the thing worth fighting for, there are principles to get there. The principles for financial freedom are completely different from the principles to losing weight. No offense, we agree. Losing weight is a different set of most of financial freedom doesn't really care what you eat. So if you're a foodie, you can be successful. If you're not, you can be successful. If you're a vegan, you can be successful. Financial freedom doesn't require a specific diet, although I will implore and encourage some of the principles do talk about your diet. Some of the principles do encourage high energy diets, high long-term efficiency diets, diets that are going to allow you to have energy throughout the day, throughout your lifetime, and help you live longer. Because it is a part of financial freedom is to live a longer time. The longer you live, the more you actually get to enjoy your freedom. Show fans if you want to live a long time, enjoy the freedom. All right. Next part of this. Financial. We defined freedom, we defined financial freedom. Financials. Why is it that we are not free in a world where technically you are free right now, outside of your responsibilities to your family and a roof over your head and food? You are free to do that however you would like. Show of hands if that's true for you. You do have the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, except you have these financial responsibilities. So you mostly have you mostly have freedom. You live in a country where you can do whatever you want for the most part. Don't kill anybody. We frown upon some things. But if you go around and don't put the music up after 9 o'clock at night, we frown upon that too. No late parties in certain neighborhoods. But for the most part, you can do whatever you want. It's a financial component that fucks a lot of people up. Shafan, the finances are something you'd like to solve forever, and your clients and your friends and everybody around you wants to solve finances forever, never have to worry about them. So what are finances? Finances are a made-up system. They're agreed upon. They're an agreed upon system that we've decided is how we exchange value with each other. It is debt. By the way, debt is not a bad thing. Debt is actually what those dollars you carry around are. Those little freedom points, as I call them. Those little digits on your cell phone. That is debt. That is somebody owes you. When you have dollars in your account, somebody owes you, or the potential for somebody to owe you. When you don't have dollars in your account, you owe somebody else if you want to change the balance of dollars in the accounts. So if that makes sense, if we grasp how money works. Excellent. Okay, so it is a financial system. We exchange debt. We borrow people's time, or we give our time for money. Who here, show of hands, has given their time for money before? Worked a job, traded dollars for hours. Okay, so we're very familiar with that side of it. Who here has made money from a project before? Just you created results and you got paid. Create results, you got paid. Excellent. So real estate investors, we understand the idea of creating results and getting paid. So the financial system exists, and then financial freedom would be the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and actually be able to pay people to do things you don't want to do. Show of hands, we agree. That's what it is. It's paying people to do things we don't want to do. So debt, money is this IOU of the world. It's this, you get a whole bunch of them. Now people owe you some shit. You don't have enough, you have to owe somebody. Write it down if that's the first time you've thought it. It's really helpful with making money if you look at it more as a game of collecting freedom points. And by the way, if you have a hard time with the money thing being a game, you're gonna have a hell of a hard time learning the rules. So we have to look at this as a game that can be played, that can be won. It's a game none of us want to play. We can just, we didn't choose the game, we didn't build the game, we didn't set the game. But since the game exists and we're all getting our asses handed to us by the game, it makes sense for us to learn the game. Show of hands, we can put it that way. That's a little better way to phrase the fact that this money thing is a game. Awesome. My brother says it all the time. He's like, dude, I hate that we have to play this. Well, fuck, like, what if you loved it? If you changed your mindset and you learned to love playing the game, I bet the game would be a lot more fun to play. You'd probably do much better at it too. If you learn to love the game, love the rules, then you might find that money is more fun for you. And so I'd propose the idea that we'd learn the principles and learn the rules today. Is that okay? Show of hands, you're cool with going over the rules? We're going to go over them very quickly. I'm not going to explain why the rules. That's what we do throughout the rest of the year. That's what we'll do again at the summit. But the next 52 weeks to wealth, by the way, there will be no 52 weeks to wealth next week because we will all be in Orlando at the summit this year. So the Business Real Estate Summit is in Orlando Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For VIPs, it starts on Thursday. So we will all be in person in Orlando. If the question is, will we be live streaming? No, we will not be live streaming because we will be live in person in Orlando working on building our business plan for the next year so we can implement all the 52 wealth principles throughout the entire year, leveraging the business plan that we've built. So if you are concerned about missing out on the opportunity, it is summit.alchemiststation.com. We are
Somehow here.
5-6 days out. So if you don't have the ability to get to the summit, I apologize. I'm sorry for you. That is something you should plan for sooner in advance. Show fans if you commit to making it to the summit, if it's on your agenda, awesome. Love you guys. Cool. So next week doesn't exist. Going forward, wealth principle number 1 is designed to set up and set the stage for all of the other principles. In fact, I'm going to give you a link so you can follow along the wealth principles with me. And if you ever want to dig into them on your own, you can do them at your own pace as well. That link is in the chat now. So that is community.alchemiststation.com. Go to posts, and then real estate, millionaire, wealth principles, all sorts of hyphens and dashes in it, so impossible to type. But if you go to community.alchemiststation.com and then go to the 52 wealth principles, they're all sitting right there. So I dropped the link in the chat. You can follow along with me. And remembering, keeping in mind, these wealth principles are designed for financial freedom. That is the principal structure, the design for financial freedom. They're not designed to lose weight. They're not designed to build muscle. They're not designed to get you rich. They're designed to get you financial freedom. So financial freedom is 3 steps for us. First step is 6 figures. Right? You need to get to 6 figures because very soon anything under 6 figures will not be. You'll still have to go back to work. So right now, 6 figures works in most places in the country, except for on certain parts of California, certain parts of New York, certain parts of Boston, certain parts of Miami, like Florida, Miami. So there's, for the most part, 6 figures still the rule. Still is like step 1. Step 2 is $1 million net worth. So it doesn't have, you have to earn $1 million because you didn't just get taxed $1 million. Financial freedom is earn $1 million of net worth. Said that wrong. Acquire $1 million of net worth. Get the net worth of $1 million. Step 3 is get a 10% return on investment from that $1 million. 10% on $1 million is $100,000 a year passive income. Very possible. I'll give you a very quick strategy to do that. You acquire a building at $5 million, worth $5 million, but you bought it for $4 million. So now net worth of $1 million sitting in the property. And then you sell or finance the building to somebody else for $5 million at 10% interest. So fans, if you understand, you can do this all in one single contract. So fans, if you grab it, this could all be done in a single fucking contract, right? Bought it, sold the contract to somebody else with seller financing for the arbitrage of the $1 million. It's wholesaling, but with seller financing mixed inside of it. Instead of getting a wholesale fee, you've made the money inside of a transaction. I just simplified the whole millionaire financial freedom process into a single step that can be done in a single contract. So fans, if you understand, you can do this. It's legal. Excellent. Now, why don't most people do it? Why does it take 2 to 5 years? Fucking mindset. It's all up here. So I'll walk you through the 52 wealth principles. As long as you are aware that it could be done faster, and Ron and I have done purchases like this where we acquired $1.5 million in equity on the day of closing. Later on, held the property long enough, it became $4 million worth of equity because the property was evaluated, 24 units valuated at $220,000 a unit. That's and coming close to $5 million. We only bought that property for $900,000. So if you understand, real estate's a really sweet business to be in. So sometimes by holding things, you make more money. But for just talking financial freedom, he and I was offered to sell that building for $1 million profit the day I closed, the month after I closed. Guy found out how much I paid for it, and he's like, dude, I'll pay you $2 million for it. I told him no, because obviously I thought there was a lot more money in there. The thing was worth $2.4 million. I only paid $900,000. So I thought there was a lot more money in there, and he was trying to get it really quick. But if I was, and he was like, seller, partial seller financing, he offered me the whole thing. I could have, in that moment, just taken that $1 million and been paid $100,000 passive income for years and years until he was done. I chose not to, and we made $4 million instead. So I just want to be very clear that you can make a lot more money if you held it for a longer period of time. Show of hands if we understand that. But for the sake of financial freedom, that's how you do it. That's step in from point to end. That's how you do it. Let's dive into the principles to get you there so that you can have financial freedom in your life. Principle one, think a million. If you do not think a million, if you do not aim at a net worth of a million, it will be impossible to get a net worth of a million. If you're just like, I gotta flip houses, I gotta make income, you will never have the net worth that will get you out. So you need to think net worth and think a million. That's a minimum requirement for step one. Principle one, think a million. Principle two, choose a business that can make $1 million. I have messed this up before. I owned 12 businesses at my peak. And after a little while, I realized, oh my God, like some of these businesses can't make $1 million ever. Why did I do that math before I started? I don't know. Let's say most entrepreneurs I have talked to have had this problem. In fact, Scott Knaus is on here. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you make $1 million with that fucking business. And he was like, well, I love Scott. But the way I decide on whether I'm going to get financially free is, can this business become $1 million business that I can sell for $1 million and then seller finance 10%. So I get my passive income. So any business I build, I want to be able to sell that business with seller financing or royalties, some way to get passive income out of it. Show fancy commit, sell your business, make profit. That's another principle. We'll come up with that. Principle number three, understand the 4 types of money: income, profit, flow, equity. If you don't treat them differently, then you will end up with a business that doesn't have all 4 of them operating properly. There's 4 types of money that happen within a business. I'll say them one more time so you have them. Well, principle 3 is understand the 4 types of money: income, profit, flow, and equity. And wealth principle 3 will go through what those different types are. Very quickly overview: income is just money coming in. Profit is money you get to keep. Flow is money that is being spent at all times. And equity is money sitting in the business, in the asset, in the real estate. It's equity. It's not, it's real. It's just you can't tap into it unless you get a loan or unless you sell the property. So it's 4 different types of money, and they're all really important for your financial freedom. Number 4, put all your eggs in one basket and guard that basket. Every financial planner who's ever said diversify is a fucking fool, unless you are rich. If you're already rich, diversify. That's how you protect. But if you are broke, you must put all your eggs in one basket and drive that basket, protect that basket hard until you get to your $1 million net worth. It is impossible to get to $1 million if you're doing 10 different businesses. I know. I was running 12, and every single one of them struggled, except for the one business I had taken already 10 years to build. That real estate company that I built stayed just functioning and crushing it. Every other business struggled to get to, I couldn't break the 6 figures. Like if we'd get to 6 figures, I couldn't get past the multiple 6 figures. So I know by running multiple businesses, you're going to struggle to get anything happening. But if you run one and you really push it hard and it's multifamily, you're going to have a great deal of success. So principle 4, put all your eggs in one basket, guard that basket. Number 5, build a business. The reason I say build a business as an entire principle is, without a business, you can't have business expenses. So you must have a business. I don't care what it is, but you must have a business. For me, real estate business. It's a wonderful business. Also, if you do not have a business, you cannot sell a business. So part of financial freedom is taking an asset big enough and then selling it with a capital gain so that you can then either sell or finance or get royalties or take that gain and roll it into some other passive investment. So friends, if we understand, we must build a business. Also, a law, a rule, what defines a business is it's a entity that runs without you and throws off profits. I'm not counting solopreneurs as a business. I'm saying a business, build a business that's something you can walk away from. A business is something you I haven't seen my properties in 2 years. I haven't flown back to Massachusetts, walked my properties in 2 years. That's a business. That shit runs without me. Runs well. I think it runs better without me. Number 6, build your business must solve a problem. So you have to identify a major problem within the market, within the world, and just that's the problem your business solves. So your business must solve a problem. This is a principle to tie into what you do. So now is a good time to write down the problem you solve. And as we go through these wealth principles, I want you to identify the one that bothers you the most, and that's the one I want you to work on the most. All right, so your business must solve a problem. Number 7, who has your money? This is your avatar. Who has your money? This is from Grant Cardone. He said, who has your money? 10x, who has your money? You got to find them. The principle itself is to identify the problem Principle 6, your business must solve a problem, and then take that problem and then look for people who have that problem and who have money. And if they have that problem and they have money, then it's a good chance that if you talk to them, it could become your money. So the philosophy is, who is the right person for me to talk to? So number 7, identify your who. Who has your money? Number 8, do not save for a rainy day. Save to invest. If you save for rainy days, you create rainy days. But if you save to invest, you end up with investments. So it's very important to have a bucket, a savings account just for investment. Now, I'm not saying don't save and have a savings for rainy days. But if you're going to save for a rainy day, you better save for investment, because investments protect you from rainy days. More assets bring in cash flow, protects and prevents rainy days. Show hands, we commit to save, not save for a rainy day, but save for investment. That means a separate bank account inside your accounts for investment. I don't care if you put $1 in there. Start something. The strong suggestion is start with 5%, move to 10%. Eventually get to where I'm at, where 90% of your money goes into investment. So 90%, that's most multimillionaires. 90% of all of our income that comes in goes into investments. But there's a point where 30% was what I was putting in. And I thought that was very, very aggressive for me at the time. And then I got to 60% going in. I thought that was very aggressive. Now I'm down to 90% going in. I still think I'm like, the holy shit, this is insane. How do I pull this off? I'm living off of 10% of my income. But you do, like, it feels like a stretch every time I make that type of adjustment. So you'll feel those stretches as you go along. Number 9, track and focus on your net worth. What you track, you get more of. What you think about, you bring about. What you focus on expands. So tracking and focusing on our net worth means we will have net worth. Remember what I said at the beginning, this whole principle and philosophy of financial freedom is dependent upon a large enough net worth where you can get 10% return. $1 million net worth, so you get 10% return. If your net worth right now is $10,000, we need to focus on it, find out what's working, find out how you even got that 10,000. Like, what did I do to get here? So the more you track it, the more you can focus and find ways to increase and improve it. So number 10 is track. Number 9 is track and focus on your net worth. Number 10, principle, powerful principle. Increase your income through increments and surges. So this is going back to the 4 types of money and deciding which one am I going to increase? Which one makes the most sense for me to increase today? Which one will make sense for me to increase 3 months from now? Which one makes sense for me to increase a year from now, 6 months from now? Increments and surges. You could choose between capital gains. There's a big swings. You could choose between active income, where you do big sales, big high ticket products. You could do increments, which could be rent collection, little money coming in. Like, my rent's coming in, it's little money, but you get enough of them. Those little increments increase over time. It's quite the monster income. Ron and I had at one peak, our portfolio was pulling $600,000 a year. So fans, if you would love an extra $600,000 a year, even if you didn't get to keep all of it, it'd still be better. We kept about 30% of it. So 30% is pretty average for a portfolio that's not paid off. It was quite good for us. We were very happy with that portfolio. Currently, I think in the deal I'm doing with Dorina and Greg, we make somewhere around $250,000 a year. So it's net gross profit, $250,000 a year from rents. Increments and surges. So think about, write down, as we're looking at this principle number 10, what are some increments I could increase? And what are some surges? Surges could be flips. We do a flip, boom, big income. If you're an agent and you do a transaction high ticket, that could be a surge. I wouldn't call those increments because they don't happen consistently, but those are nice big surges inside the business. Unless you got to the point where you're consistently closing. Coaches, same thing. Every time you sell a high ticket program, that's a nice big surge. When you're putting people into your monthly retainers, that's an increment. Number 11, double down on your marketing. Once you've found what is working, once you've identified what's working, because you're tracking your net worth, you're doing your increments and your surges, you're managing the 4 types of money, go and double down on your marketing. Now you've earned the right to go and increase the marketing in the spaces that work. Do not just increase marketing if you can't take it down, though. I've made this mistake. There was a point in Alchemist Nation where we were spending almost $35,000 a month and taking in leads, and we had no sales team to process those leads. So it was very, very expensive. And I still have 9,000 leads inside the CRM that I'm not even sure they know who we are. But we spent the money. We did the contacts. Number 12. So number 11 is double down your market. Number 12, alleviate a frustration experienced by a large group of people who are willing to pay enough to make it worth your efforts. Now that you've spent time in the business, by the way, this is 12 weeks into the program. So 12 weeks into the program, you'll be able to identify, what's a large enough problem, the group of people who have experienced this problem. I'll just read the principle again. It's alleviated frustration experienced by a large group of people who are willing to pay enough to make it worth it. I think that principle is so self-explanatory. I don't have to explain it. Show of hands if you agree. That one is pretty self-explanatory. It's a formula. There's got to be enough people who experience the problem, who have the money, who can pay you for the problem. And if you can put that formula through, and this is a formula, if you're not making money, you should do this, because that could be the reason. Number 13, as you're building and expanding your business, you must build a contagious culture within your business and marketing. So I tell Melanie recently, Melanie's on the call. Love you, Mel. In her Subway, she has like 150 staff members. She needs a culture, right? It's no longer about writing a handbook. It's about a culture that actually people are excited about going and doing and delivering. And it's also, can I make my culture a marketing culture? Can I get it so that as somebody's going through and I'm creating a sandwich, can that person be thinking, man, I should come back to Subway with my friends? Can I create such a great experience that people want to become advocates and bring people to my business? It's same with real estate. I created such a great culture around my properties in Fall River that I had tenants saying, I have a friend who wants to live here. I know you got that unit coming up. I have a friend who wants to live here. They'll pay. They're amazing. I had other people saying living in my house is better than living in somebody else's house. In real estate, it's very important that we get referrals from tenants who are clean, safe, do things right. Getting referrals from them really tends to improve our buildings. It also retains people in the building. When I get somebody else's family member who lives in that building, I have locked down tenants for 10 years. I'm no longer worried about vacancy. They can't leave because their family's next door. So I want you to just think about a culture of like contagious culture within your business and marketing. Number 13, if we don't do this, eventually we end up spending too much money on marketing, spending too much money on finding new clients, new customers, new staff members. Number 14, focus on the 80-20 principle in sales and marketing. How you find those off-market deals? How you find those customers? How you find that capital to invest in your deals? What is the 80-20? Who spent the most money with you? When I think of people who have lent me money, I've got a couple of guys who've lent me $1 million. And I got a lot of people who've lent me $50,000, $100,000 at a time. When I'm doing a $2-3 million like raise, who do you think it's easier for me to go to? I'd rather go to 2 or 3 guys who've lent me $1 million before and just have that conversation instead of going to, for every million, it's 20 people I'd have to talk to if I want to raise 50,000 at a time. Or it's, if I'm raising 100,000 at a time, it's 10 people. So that's a lot of conversations for just one purchase, to just do one deal. So I want you to think about who has done it for you in the past. 80-20. Focus on the 80-20 principle in sales and marketing. As you go through the year, you have opportunities now. The more activity you're doing, the easier it is. Number 15, leverage the law of reciprocity. As you're scaling up, as you're increasing your business, as you're acquiring assets, as you're acquiring passive income streams, customers, the law of reciprocity means that if we give, they will give. But the law of reciprocity does not mean equal amounts. It can be absolutely disproportionate. If I give you information, you may pay me dollars. But we're not exchanging information for information. Like, because that's not where the value would be. I don't value more information. I value more dollars. Or I value more in my place where I'm at. I want more assets. I want more property, more cash flow, more opportunity to buy more real estate. Write it down. Leverage the law of reciprocity. We can give things that we have in abundance to people who lack that abundance in those particular areas. And then they will, in exchange, give what they have in abundance. So when I'm raising capital, very specifically, raising capital, large amounts of money, I'm actually going out to a person who lacks the ability to lock down a deal themselves or the time to lock down a deal themselves, but they have the capital to finance the deal. And so I'm just closing the gap, closing it up for them. All right, we got to get moving a little bit faster. So number 16, develop a fixity of your purpose. If you do not know why you do what you do, it'll be hard to compel people to do it with you. It'll be very difficult to attract investors, very difficult to attract sellers and motivate them, difficult to attract and aspire people to work with you and clients to do business with you. So having a fixity of your purpose. Committing to a single purpose, a single end result is the key to success. Number 17, offer high ticket items or deal in high volume sales or both. But if you're going to do both, you want to do one first, get good at it, and then do the next one and add that in. Number 18, only deliver the highest quality product or services, and from there, constantly improve. Too many entrepreneurs try to improve product, and then eventually end up with no customers and no time or money to improve the product any further. At some point, you just have to sell what you got. Work with what you got, sell hardcore, move on to the next phase. I know when I started investing in real estate, I really wanted to be at 100-unit buildings. But I wasn't. I wasn't there. I could buy 3 families. And that's where I stayed for a little while. Then I got to 6 families. Then I got to 20 units. And we just closed on 35 units. And I told Dorina this year,
you got to lift that
going
properly.
after Gary, yeah. we gotta mute you, brother. Yep. We're gonna get you muted. So this year we're going after 200 units. I don't know if I'll do it in swings of hundreds at a time, or if it'll be 20 units at a time, 40 units at a time. It's just going to hopefully it manifests as a whole portfolio of 100 to 200 units. That would be my ideal situation. Is one guy wants to sell me 200 units out in that market. So only deliver the highest quality products or services. From there, constantly improve. Buy whatever you can, wherever you can, whenever you can, and then trade up. Ron and I now have amazing $200,000 condos, but we were buying $50,000 units, beat up properties, apartments, and then eventually we got to the point where our condos are like pimped out, like beautiful. We got 16 of them still, 15 of them still, and that's from trading up. So start with where you are, whatever you can buy. Number 19, be a world-class expert in your business. Educate, do so little, be so good at it though, that you can be a world-class expert. Don't do 1,000 different things. Do one thing. Just drive hard at that one thing and be awesome at it. And as I am reading these principles, by the way, who here is reading these principles and thinking, man, like these are good. Like this is something I got to implement. I got to put this into work right now. Me too. Every year, 5 years in a row, every time I go through Principle 52 and I'm sharpening the saw, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking I got to go and do all of this. All right. I need one of my co-hosts to mute anybody who's currently talking. Awesome. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you. Number 20. Apply the 10x rule to your planning. This is 10x.
Please.
I know.
All right. How is it that I have not Gary? Gary, can we get you to mute, brother?
He keeps unmuting.
Yes, let's mute him hardcore. Mute him permanently. Throw him out into the attendees area for a short period of time until he's willing to behave. Principle 20, the 10x rule. Apply the 10x rule to your business, to your planning. This is a rule that states that if you're going to accomplish something and you think you need to put this much work into it, apply 10 times that much effort. If you think you need 10 customers to be successful, aim at 100 customers. If you can aim at 100 customers, there's a better chance that you're going to get there. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes you aim at 100 customers and you realize you actually need 1,000 customers in order to hit that goal. Thank God you aimed at the 10x rule in the first place, because 10 never would have told you. Also, when doing 10x planning, set parameters to test to see if it's working. Right? Don't say, hey, okay, I'm going to talk to 100 customers over a year. Say, I'm going to talk to one customer in a week. And if you haven't figured out how to get to that customer in a week, you have a problem. Now you know to step up intensity, step up your challenges. Some of your business, maybe talk to a customer in a day, right? If you haven't gotten to that customer in a day, well, what's wrong? Now you know at a daily level. Talk to a customer in an hour, and you haven't got to a customer in an hour. Now you know what to step up in intention in order to get to that next level. Excellent. Number 21, create a definition of your vision. So purpose is your why. It's why you do what you do. Vision is what you're going to accomplish. So what results you're seeking in your company, what results you're seeking in the world. For Dorina and I, it'll be 200 units. That's families who are living inside of our buildings, clean and safe properties that we manage and own. So that's very clear. It's a vision. We know where we want them as well. Maybe I'll tell you about the summit, where we're buying. Number 22, seek out strategic partnerships and affiliates. Seek out strategic partnerships and affiliates. Doesn't mean you're giving 50-50 to everybody. It means These are people who have the same customer, who can service your customer in a different way than you do, and can also bring customers to you and make your process look bigger. So for the millionaire building process for Alchemist Nation, we use financial planners, we use coaches, we use strategic strategists, we use property managers, attorneys, lenders, mortgage brokers, realtors. There's a whole slew of professionals that we use to build a millionaire. And so we have access to all these different vendors, these different affiliates. It makes our system look significantly bigger. So fans, if you talk to one of our coaches, talk to anybody inside the system, and they're pretty impressive. They're amazing. I love them all. Yes. Awesome. Number 23, the power of partnerships. Now, partnerships are equity. This is where you are giving things up. This is where you are buying houses or buying properties or buying assets with other people. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for partnerships. I look at partnerships as I'm buying my time back. So I may put my money into a deal, but I'm not putting my effort into a deal. So partnerships for me are freedom. So I can buy real estate without having to do the work. So it could be, buying real estate, not having to invest the money. Partnerships have two sides, have three sides: from deals, money, labor. Number 24, the power of stick-to-itiveness. An actual word, Google it. The power of stick-to-itiveness. This is deciding to do a thing and staying in it no matter what. Successful people make their decisions quickly, and they change them never, if ever. And that has led to me staying in businesses that sucked or painful, but then later on made me a multimillionaire. Because real estate can be painful. The whole process can be frustrating. Buying assets is scary. It's intense. Borrowing money. At my peak, I want to say I don't know how much debt we were in at our peak. I know for sure we had one single mortgage that was $2.5 million. I got a buddy who's one of his mortgages is $260 million. So I know that debt is scary. Debt is a part of the game. Sticking to it, no matter how scary this thing gets, is going to be the key to your survival, to getting out on the other end. Number 25, the power of outsourcing. Bring in other people. Pay people hourly. Get tasks done. Outsourcing now we use it for like systems. We use it for, we use people out in the Philippines, just outsourcing tasks that are things that I know somebody else can do who's very, very, very good at them, and I can not pay them an American wage. So sometimes that form of outsourcing is amazing. You can also outsource into systems, technologies. Like right now, I'm using Zoom instead of a hotel room. Show fans if you're glad you didn't have to get on a plane for this conversation. Right, for 1 hour, it's like, man, I'm glad I'm not on a plane for this. All right, it's the power of outsourcing. Number 26, study the people and businesses that are performing the way you want your business to perform. This is not study your competition. This is study people whose businesses operate better than yours. You should never study your competition, but you should study the businesses you aspire to be like. Right? Competition means they're actually competing with you. They're at your level. Don't study people at your level. That's how you get more of your level. Study people who are above you, who are operating the way you want your business to operate. And that's how you get to those businesses, to that size. Number 26, steadfastness of your faith. Faith in the outcome. Stick-to-itiveness is stick to doing whatever you're doing. Steadfastness of faith is where you believe in what you're doing. You stay doing it because you believe in it, focusing on that and rekindling that. It is an asset. Stick-to-ing it without faith means you're just doing the work, but not getting the results. So fans, if you've seen somebody who showed up to work, but they didn't get the work done. I showed up, but the heart wasn't there. So steadfastness of faith is necessary in order to gain success in financial freedom. Number 28, learn to love dealing with large amounts of people and the people who have it. If you do not love dealing with large amounts of money, if you do not love dealing with people who have large amounts of money, you will never be one of us. Write that down. You got to love rich people. You got to love helping rich people. That's how you get rich. That's how I got rich. I helped rich people do rich people shit, right? They were buying real estate, so I helped them buy real estate. Not even now, the people who are richer than me who invest in my deals, I love working for them. That's what I'm doing. My deals pay them a return on investment, pay them a dividend. So it's hard for us to love working for rich people, love hanging around rich people. Otherwise, you won't have any rich people in your circle. If you don't love them, they're not going to hang out with you. So fans feel like hanging around people who love you too. You got to like them to hang with them. Yeah. So you got to love rich people. Learn to love dealing with large amounts of money and the people who have it. Number 29. Oh man, this one's hard to say. Own 100% of your results. No matter where you're at in life, it's your fault. Whoops. It's nobody else. We can't blame the economy. We can't blame the world. We can't blame our parents. We can't blame our friends. We can't blame our spouse. We can't blame our kids. We can't blame the weather. We can't blame fucking Milton. We can't blame anything. Own 100% of your results. The world will come at you. The world will send you some shit. It's your fault. Just the results that you get with what they send you is what it is. And the rich do this. I own every single result. The fact that my PowerPoints aren't all done and now I have to do them in a hotel, my fault. Could have done them 30 days ago. So, fans, have you ever been in that situation before? Bad situations? Well, procrastination is usually your fault, isn't it? So, own 100% of your results as I'm owning mine. So, at the summit, if I'm a little tired, I'm a little stressed out, but I still deliver a fucking phenomenal event, you'll know it's because I'm owning 100% of my results and I committed to you to run an amazing event. So I will get the PowerPoints done. I do have the Monster energy drinks here to bang myself through every single PowerPoint that I have to do, and they will be better than they would have been if I had not done that. So, number 29, 100% of your results. Number 30, learn how to attract the right mentors for your goals. And I gotta sprint through these because I gotta get Doug to give you the presentation. Show fans you understand this week, and we're gonna work on these. We're gonna get through them. Then we got all year to bang through all of them through one principle at a time. This is why, by the way, I strongly suggest one principle at a time. They are all work. You could spend hours on each one of these. They are all work, and they should be implemented one per week in your business so that at the end of the year, you've accomplished your goals or moved yourself into whatever increment of time you're looking to move yourself into. Number 30 is learn how to attract the right mentors for your goals, specifically for your goals. Do not attract mentors not for your goals. I don't care if they're rich. If they're not rich the way you want to get rich, they're not the right mentor. Show fans if that makes sense. Getting rich and getting happy mean doing what you want to do and acquiring the money the way you want to acquire the money. Or do it if you gotta do something you don't like, do it really fucking fast. Like I talked about at the beginning of this call. Go get the $1 million, invest it at 10%, and then do what you want to do. Sometimes just buying real estate to get your financial freedom is the faster path to go into the impact that you want to do in the world. So, fans, if you got a lot of impact, you want to do a lot of things, some big stuff you want to change in the world, you want to help a lot of people, maybe you just need to go get financially free. Maybe real estate is the solution to do that. Do it quick, do it short, do it fast, get your 6 figures, and then go and do whatever it is you want to do. And maybe you don't have to charge so much for it. All right. Number 31. When setting sales goals, go for no. Don't go for yes. Don't care about the yeses. Go for the no. Set no as a target. Number 32. The point is not to work. It's to generate income. That's my goal. That's my reel. I've made that one. So just sit on that for a moment. Read the book, Broke to $250,000. The point is not to work. It's to generate income. Number 33. Start your business to sell your business and get rich. We're going to talk about that at the summit. That is the whole point of the weekend. I'm building a business plan with you to sell the business, not to be a mercenary, not to build a business to sell the business, do not care about the business. Build it as if the next person's going to make it better. Build it as if you're setting up the most perfect stage, the perfect business for the next person to come in and totally build and change the world. So build your business to sell your business and get rich so that you can also not be involved in your business. Number 34, accept what can't be changed and create an advantage. The world's fucking with you. The world's throwing lemons. Become a lemonade producing company. Make lemonade. Sell it in a place where people are not receiving lemons. Number 35, create an awesome team around you. You are nothing without your team. Your team will expand the mission. Your team will move things forward. The team will take care of things that you're not good at. Number 36, be impeccable with your word. Do not say yes to people you do not plan to commit with. Do not say yes to things you don't want to do. Be impeccable with your word. Do not lie to yourself. Be clear about what you actually want to create. Affirmations sometimes can feel a little bit like a lie. Make sure that they're congruent with where you actually want to go, and then be impeccable with your word. Number 37, the depth of your gratitude. You must go deep in gratitude throughout the entire year, but especially by week 37, you've been busting your ass for more than half the year. We need to go back and be thankful for what we're grateful for. Be grateful for what we're thankful for. Be thankful and grateful for the things that we've got accomplished, whether they're big or small. Number 38, sell your product before you build or create. This is the principle of pre-selling. I'm raising capital before I have a deal. I'm raising capital already. I'm telling you, I'm raising capital, right? I'm bringing in money before I have a deal that I'm going to go close on. We are submitting an offer on 128 units in Mississippi right now. But Greg actually submitted it last night. So I'm already saying, hey, guys, if you wanted one of my deals, like, let me know. Let's have that conversation. Pre-sell, sell the product before you build or create it. 38, how do you do anything is how you do everything. So if you got a messy house, I bet you got a messy business. If you got a messy spouse, I bet you got a messy house. I bet you got a messy business. Bet you got a messy body. So if you're not happy in any one of those categories, go back and check to see which one is fucking it up for you. And then fix the one that you're best at, and then fix the next one, fix the next one. You're going to find by the time you get to the third or fourth, they've already fixed themselves. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. Number 40, create keystone habits. Once you've identified what you don't like about yourself, how you do anything is how you do everything. You find some things you don't like, go and create some keystone habits that can change the results you're seeing in the world. So if you're like overweight, then go to the gym every day. That would be a keystone habit. If you're underweight, eat more food every day. If you are not muscular, go to the gym and work out muscles. Don't be on the treadmill. The gym time doesn't count. If you're looking to gain muscle, but you're on the treadmill, it's not going to work for you. So you got to create keystone habits that lead you to where you want to go. If you want your son or your daughter, your children to love you, maybe create a keystone habit around doing things that they love doing, making it very intentional. Show fans, everybody knows this. We all know these things, and then sometimes we don't do them. Keystone habits help you get the results you want automatically. Number 41, actually, even deeper, keystone habit. If you're not happy with the shape you're in, like I woke up this morning and Dorena told me my arms look small. One, I was like, fuck you. But two, I was like, that's probably true. Probably true that my arms do look small because I haven't had, my creatine and I haven't, been working out as much as I normally do. So she's used to the swole, right? She's used to the muscles being a little worked up. That's real feedback, right? I looked at her and I was like, you look beautiful. I'm smart, right? She just had a baby. Now is not the time for me to go and tell her how she needs to improve her shit. So I just, we could all improve. Show fans, we can all improve in every aspect of our lives. Yeah, there's no shit. Like, no doubt. We got to keep getting better. Number 41, create an environment that forces you to grow. An environment that forces you to grow. Instead of willpower, because willpower is not a will call, we need an environment that forces us to get to where we want to go. 52, give the impression of advancement. Give the impression of increase in advancement. This means to help others perceive that you are going forward, that you are doing things. When I did the year of leg day, man, like everybody judged me for doing leg day. I had all these health people telling me, oh, you shouldn't work out legs every day. It's not healthy for you. No shit, it's not healthy for me. I know. I know it's not. I'm doing it because I didn't do it for 7 years. I forced myself, I forced every one of you to hold me accountable to do leg day every year. And you know what? Now this year, my legs are 25.5 inches. Before, when I started, they were 19-inch legs. It's not good. It's not good to be a man who has 15-inch arms, have legs that are almost the same size. It was bad. It was bad. So I needed to create an environment that forced me to be successful in that arena, that thing I wanted to do. And when you get money, you start working on other shit, right? That's the whole point is find freedom. I can go to the gym for 3 hours a day because I have the money to pay for my bills to go and do those things. I want each of you to think about that as we're going through. Create an environment that will force you to grow, an environment that makes you do whatever you want to do, but it's not natural to you. It forces your growth. Number 42, give the impression of increasement and advancement. Yes, I just said that one. So that's to let people know where you're going, regardless of whether you believe in yourself. That's why you go back to faith. You have to tell people where you're going. Tell them what you want to do, and then do it. And the people around you will help you do it. Number 43, understand the power of demographics. As you're finding your marketing and you're delving into this whole system, understanding the people, the intentions, the behaviors, the resources, the reason people do what they do is demographic based. So understanding demographics, understanding where to go, how to do it, will change your business. Also, it is really helpful in real estate not to buy in the wrong place. So demographics are 100% location, location, location. If you don't understand demographics, you could fuck up your real estate career. So it's really important that you understand the demographics and the locations themselves. And I will talk about those at the summit. So number 44, systemize your business so it works without you. Number 45, invest in assets that increase time, energy, or income streams. Love that principle. We just did it a few weeks ago. I could do it all over again. I'm not going to go into it now, but I love that one. Number 46, simplify your life and business. Man, the only way to do number 48 and number 47 is to first simplify your business. Number 47 is the law of hyper-focus. If you're going to focus on just one thing, such as by doing everything else be easier when necessary, you need to simplify your business to get there. Number 48, know thyself, the power of personality assessments. If you're finding that you're not doing the things that you want done, it's time to go figure out who you are and maybe adjust how you get to those goals. So So the personality assessments will help you do that. Number 49, seek to understand and to be understood. Find out what your customers actually want, listen to them, and then learn how to communicate to them what you want. We've been selling and finding sellers, buying houses, working with raising capital. It's understand the investor, understand the homeowner before trying to convince them that they need to sell to you at a discount or give you their money. Number 50, never give up. There's three principles in here that look very similar. Three principles that look very, very much, stick to itiveness, steadfast of faith, never give up. They look similar, but they're painted with different colors. It's the idea of success comes from those who do it and stay in it, not from those who talk about it. Talk is cheap, but doing it is important. Number 51, last week's principle, learn to love solving problems for people and getting rich doing it. Money is made through solving problems. It is through accomplishing things that other people want done that they don't want to do themselves. Not problems you create. It's a very stressful business, the solving problems. People have a housing issue, right? I create housing. So that is a problem I solve. It's a very big problem they have every single night, every single day. They have that problem. But they know when they're with me, at least for 30 days, they're guaranteed to have a house and roof over their head where they're going to have running water and electricity and heat and cooling. So that is a guarantee that I provide to my customers, my clients, my tenants. Learn to love solving problems for people and getting rich too. I love my families that live in my housing. I love solving their problem of not having housing. And some of them have the problem of can't get their pets somewhere. So in some of my buildings where I find it harder to find tenants, I offer pets. So there is a problem that I have solved for people because I like occupancy and I hate vacancy. So I'll take a pet in over a vacant unit any day of the week. And number 52, sharpen the saw. Come back, sharpen, do it again. These 52 wealth principles, this 52 weeks to wealth is designed to help you double your income, double your net worth. Let's give everybody on the call a big round of applause. Book of the week, Billy Reuter. This whole principle takes way longer than it's one of those crazy principles. Go ahead, Billy. What's this week's book of the week?
What's up, guys? My goodness, this is one of my favorite books. I hope I can do it justice by sharing this. One of the things I would like to pre-frame before we dive in is there's a lot of philosophy out there that is gorgeous. So I'm going to challenge everyone to take the philosophical and make it practical. So we hear the word sharpen the saw, which is one of my absolute favorite habits of the seven from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What I'm going to challenge you to do, I'm going to give a little definition, if I may. What is the saw? The saw represents a useful skill or a useful tool. Sharpen is your consistent upgrade, your consistent elevation, your consistent refinement. So sharpening the saw is something that we could all agree with. We can high five and bow our heads, but really making that a habit is where you're going to take your business to the next level. So what tools do you have in your business that need to be sharpened? My challenge to everyone, and this might sting a little bit, is, and I know Walter and I talk about this quite often, so many entrepreneurs, they're sharpening the wrong tool. They're sharpening the wrong saw. Personal trainers are getting more certifications and more kettlebell twisting techniques. Martial artists are learning new kicks and new punches. They're not really focusing on what's going to drive their business forward. So really making sure that you're sharpening the right saw, making sure you're really dialed in to what moves your business forward, and making sure you go all in to evolve those practices. That is critical. No matter what business you're in, client experience is something you can all dive in right now. Right now, we could all take our client experience, whatever you're in sales, real estate, coaching, doesn't matter. How can you sharpen that saw? How can you go above and beyond? How can you over deliver and exceed expectations? That is one critical way to sharpen your saw, because no matter what business you're in, people are on the other side. And a quick side note, Walter, I really feel your pain here with Dorina and your small biceps. It's funny because last year at the summit, I was like 196 pounds. I was shooting videos. I was really lean. And my wife, my gorgeous queen, kept saying, don't get too skinny. Don't get too skinny, Billy. Don't get too skinny. I've seen you on videos. Then it took one episode of Jack Reacher, of that muscle monster eating in the jail, and she's like, wow. So this summit, I'm 12 pounds heavier with muscle because my wife, I need to get her wow. If anybody can relate to that, right? 2 hours a day, I'm pumping in. But again, I'll close with this, guys. What Walter shared is just gold. No surprise. So many people master the things that don't move them forward. I know a lot of life coaches that read a million books. I know a lot of life coaches that can recite quotes from the top speakers. That's awesome, but you're broke, right? Really dial in to what habits will drive your business. Really learn how to sell, really learn how to over deliver, really learn how to market. Those skills require and demand consistent sharpening. I love you all. I can't wait to see you guys in just 5 or 6 days, whenever I'm going to see you, and give you all a hug. Thank you for your time. Love you all.
Yeah, Billy Reuter, a big round of applause. Billy was speaking at the summit this year. He was speaking about predictable profits, how to create predictable profits in your company. He's got the trifecta, the three rules. And as I just noticed, Vinny Chopra is in the house. He's got a brand new knee. Let's give Vinny Chopra a round of applause.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how excited I am after getting a complete right knee replacement done, where they cut the knee and put a new knee and everything. And in just about 2 weeks, I was able to start walking without the walker, without the stick. So it's God is great. God is great. Positivity. Thank you. Thank you so much. Positivity really brings profitability. I say that.
So Vinny Chopra, for anybody who's new, Vinny Chopra, he started in this country with $7, and then he raised $280 million, and he purchased $1.6 billion worth of real estate in the multifamily space. He's written books on multifamily. He's written books on RALs, on positivity, and more recently, Vinny has been a speaker at our summit every single year for the last 3 years, except this year he's got a ticket from his doctor that says he cannot fly. So Vinny, I
Yeah.
pitched to him that he's going to start walking now. So if he starts walking now on the new knee, he could get to Florida in 30 days. So not fast enough. There's no way for him to get to us in time. So
Oh no, you
so
guys got
Vinny,
to have a fabulous time. Yeah.
so what Vinny did is he recorded a video very specifically for everybody at the summit. I actually watched it this morning, and I'm going to watch it again. Send you some notes, Vinny. I'm very thankful, brother. Absolutely amazing. Exactly dead on point what we're looking
Oh,
for.
thank you. Thank you.
And he's got his sunglasses are already ordered. So we're going to do a
Yes.
session where you'll be wearing the same sunglasses that Vinny wears, and you'll be able to think like somebody who's built a $1 billion real estate portfolio. Show fans are excited to be thinking like a billionaire. This is like
Uh,
taking wealth principle one and just 1,000xing it. Uh, Vinny, we're going to do our guided meditation in just a minute with Doug. But before we do, what piece of
yes.
advice would you give to somebody who is really looking to drive towards financial freedom or already has financial freedom and wants to help others do the same? What piece of advice would you give towards real estate investors who are really looking to either impact others at a higher level in teaching them how to buy more real estate, or maybe impact others at the level of doing the real estate deals itself?
If I may say, the biggest thing in somebody getting results and somebody not getting results is mindset. If you think there are no good deals out there, there are no good deals out there. If you think there are so many great things, you think that Fed is going to drop the interest rates 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, and 2025 is going to be the spectacular year, which I believe fully, heartedly. And I'm really priming the pump for multifamily, for hotels. I'm looking at 3 hotels right now. And also as RALs, the residential assisted livings. If you are not looking at these 3 things, you're missing the mark, because 2024, rest of it, I just bought 2 RALs. They're going to make me $12,000 a month, each one cash flow. That's 12,000 times 12 months. That's 144,000. Let's say 150,000 a year, one RAL. And I'm planning to get 10 by the end of 2025. So that's going to be $1.5 million income every year. And seniors don't leave. When they come in the senior assisted living home with like 8 seniors or 10 seniors, they live there for 3.5 years. And by the time if they go heavenly or they go to rehab centers, guess what? You get other seniors. There is 1.4 million bed shortage right now. 1.4 million. So please, please, please think about real estate is the game changer. 24, 25 will change your life, literally, if you really get into the midst of it. And, people are buying, I'm buying. I mean, I've gotten my priming going for 3 years. I've not bought much, 3.5 years, but now is the time.
Let's give Vinny Chopra a big round of applause. Vinny, like myself, we've been net sellers,
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
more real estate than buying real estate. We've been buying, but it's
yeah.
been small compared to what we did in the past. And Vinny is a monster when he buys real estate. So, without further ado, Doug McGurk,
Yes.
we got some
So
guided
glad to
meditation.
see Brother Doug. I was watching his video and his family and everything. What a great personality. Doug, kudos to you, bro.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
So sorry we're gonna miss you in person.
Ah,
And if Vinny Chopra, if you got to jump out, let's give Vinny a big round of applause for all the work he's done for this community. His multifamily syndication academy, his wealth
thank you.
principles every Thursday, the Thursday abundance.
Thank you, Vinny.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Without further ado, Doug McGurk, it's time for you to guide us through some meditation so we can implement all 52 wealth principles in our lives this year and just put those principles, embed them into our souls so it happens automatically.
Well, thank you. Give Walter and everyone a hand. Come on. Walter finding a way to make it happen, notwithstanding power challenges. That shows his commitment to everyone in this group here. So we owe definitely a huge debt of gratitude of leading by example, still making it happen no matter what. So it's an important acknowledgement. And I'm going to take the liberty to also presume that we've all maybe read some of these books, that we're not just here showing up. We're also playing full out, to Billy's point, that we're actually applying the sharpening, the honing. So why don't we go ahead? Let's see if we're. Let me get the music happening. Are you hearing it? Well, all right. Down a little. So why don't you go ahead and take a nice, big, deep cleansing breath in. Roll your eyes up to the back of your head till you feel a little strain. That's right. And relax. Now, take another big, deep cleansing breath in. And as you do so, tense all of your muscles. Tense them up, tense them up, tense them up. Tense your body, tense your arms, tense your legs. And relax. That's right. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine stepping into a serene and timeless sanctuary. A place where wisdom from the ages, in the form of a grand and ancient forest that seamlessly blends into an expansive, well-ordered library. Each element of this environment, the forest and the library, exist in harmonious duality, representing the continuum of personal and professional mastery. Visualize yourself at the threshold of this ancient forest, where every tree stands tall, a testament to resilience and growth. And as you wander through this forest, feel the soft earth under your feet. Each step taking you deeper and deeper into a realm of calm and focus. Here, the forest air is rich with the scent of pine and old parchment. symbolizing the blend of natural growth and accumulated knowledge. So as you inhale deeply, absorbing the richness of growth and wisdom around you, embrace the serenity that fosters deep, focused learning and honing of skills. And as you connect even more to your higher power, to God, to Mother Nature, repeat these affirmations aloud or in your mind. I am committed to lifelong mastery of both personal and professional skills. Every experience enhances my understanding and capabilities. And I wonder if you can ask and answer these questions now. Why do I find it so natural to excel in my personal and professional development? How is it that with each day, my abilities in leadership, negotiation, and strategic thinking deepen? And as you progress deeper into the forest, you discover a natural amphitheater formed by ancient oaks, each representing foundational skills in business and life. Here, in the heart of the forest, a magnificent oak stands, its branches stretching skyward, its roots deep and strong. So observe the structure of the oak, symbolizing robust and intricate systems of success. Allow its timeless presence to inspire your path of continuous growth. And venture further, and the forest gradually gives way to the library of success, where the scent of aged books fill the air. Each book on the mahogany shelves, from Rich Dad, Poor Dad to Think and Grow Rich, is a gateway to mastering the art of wealth and legacy. Absorb the tactical and strategic insights that these books offer, all of them. Integrate the essence of each lesson into your journey towards professional and personal excellence. And as you pursue the library, pulling volumes from the shelves, visualize yourself mastering the principles contained within each book. See yourself applying these principles, transforming your business and professional life into models of efficiency and effectiveness. And with that deep connection to God, to your higher power, repeat these affirmations aloud or in your head. With every book I read, my strategy for personal and business success comes more refined. I am a master of implementing knowledge into action, ensuring my legacy of success. And give yourself this gift of asking and answering this affirmation. Why does every strategy I implement lead me closer to my ultimate goals of wealth and personal fulfillment? How is it that each decision I make is guided by deep wisdom and insight? And carry the tranquility of the forest and the wisdom of the library within you. Let these environments remind you of your continuous journey in personal growth and business mastery. As you step back into the world, let the lessons you've learned guide every decision and interaction, making you a beacon of success and a pillar of reliability. And as this guided journey concludes, you emerge from the forest library oasis rejuvenated, equipped with timeless strategies and personal insights. You are not merely participating in your life and business, you are actively sculpting them into works of art, worthy of the legacy you choose to leave behind. Come on back.
Let's give Doug McGurk a round of applause. That one was particularly powerful for me. I enjoyed it. I saw Vinny enjoying it. You got the most maximum value. By the way, let's give Michelle Young a round of applause. I just realized she's been wearing this shirt the whole time, and I didn't say something. Let's give her a round of applause. Looking awesome. Mitch Jorsky, I suspect that you're wearing a pretty sweet shirt. What do you got going on over there? Names on deeds. Let's go. Awesome. One of my favorites. Vinny, what was your biggest takeaway from these guided meditations?
You know, it's so wonderful for us to really talk to us, right? I mean, when we do meditation, it takes you to a different place. We are always in the present, and we are very much stressed out, actually, if we think about it. So many different forces are guiding us when we close our eyes, and how Doug took us into the forest. You're in a different transformative place. And then he united the library of the books. I mean, that was amazing, seamless. And you are getting there, and you're in a different frame of mind and thinking. And it was great. It was really awesome experience. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, bro.
Give Vinny Chopra
Thank you, brother.
I felt the same. Let's get some shares before we do. Mitch Jorsky, you got to give us a quote. Give us a quote that emphasizes sharpening the saw.
You know, I have a specific quote that I guess works to that, but you mentioned one of the principles. You talked about, put all your eggs in one basket and guard that basket, unless you're already rich, right? Well, the short version of that, and it's a quote that I actually got from my CPA that I loved, and I wish I would have heard it 20 years sooner, because I was diversifying when I was like 21 years old, which is, duh, don't do that. So anyway, what he said to me was, concentrated bets are for making money. Diversification is for keeping money. So as Walter said earlier, like, put all your eggs in one basket, guard that basket. When you're trying to build that wealth, you need to be more focused. You need to take more risks. You need to be more aggressive. And then once you build that, then you want to diversify, because you want to keep the money, right? That's what diversification is for. So the concentrated bets is for making money. Diversification is for keeping money. That's always stuck with me since I've heard it. I think it's super useful, and it's a mantra worth remembering.
Give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. I was just gonna say, Vinny, I need to have your thought on this. Go ahead.
I really would like to say something. I mean, where I am today, in the last 17 years, I would be standing still at the same corner if I did not harness the power of my friends and relatives, their OPM, other people's money, their money. I'm telling you, I think if we want to really grow more, we got to figure out JV partnerships, looking for the money all around you, because you can make money in your stream, in your focus, and you will save money from there, but it's going to be small amount, no matter what happens. Even if you make $1 million, how much can you spend out of that? Or make 500,000, maybe you could invest 100, 200 out of that. But if you want to invest $1 million, you got to harness the money. There is $40 trillion, 40 trillion with a T, dollars in retirement funds. And a lot of people don't know what to do with it. It's stuck there in the stock market, which is up and down and everywhere. So I would highly recommend, please, please, please look into how you could set up a model that if you find a good deal, who can come with you? That is the power. If anything, I could really impact, in this, nation, in Alchemist Nation, and everybody around me, it's the power of uniting people together. It's like-minded people getting together through a business plan, and you show them, hey, this is the property I want to buy. Would you come with me? Now you're going to scale up.
Give Vinny Chopra a round of applause. That is
Yeah.
the amount of, please write this down. The amount of emphasis he put on the fact that it doesn't matter how great you are at your deal, it doesn't matter how good the deal is, you get 1,000% return. The fact that you need to go into it with bigger size is what Vinny's saying. You need to go in with more money. And the only way to do that is to get it from other people around you, and allow them the opportunity to get into your deals.
And they will give you, I raised 220 million. What? A guy who got $50,000 check on a sofa, in 20 minutes at 17 years back from a friend of mine. And, I didn't know him before, by the way. Somebody referred me to him. And, I just kept at it, kept at it, kept at it. And that's what Mushroom did to people giving me 100, 200, 500. They repeated again and again. So it will happen for each one of you. Each one of you. I really believe that.
Because I know Vinny's story. What he said is he sat on a guy's sofa. He drove over an hour to go sit on that guy's sofa and share why my multifamily real estate is better than single family real estate. I know the story.
Yeah.
I've memorized this, Vinny, because I've heard you say it so many times, and I've asked the details on it. And
Yeah.
that gentleman asked him very specific, pointed question: "How many deals have you done?" And Vinny's like, "None. I've done zero." And it's like, okay, like, how is this gonna work? He says, well, multifamily is better than single family. Like, that's what's gonna work here. And
Four slides, only 4 slides I had in my broken Dell laptop. Yeah, it was broken too, actually. It's mind blowing to me, And he says, are you going to move to Texas? I said, no. Are you going to leave your present job? No. Do you have the loan? No. He says, I just love your enthusiasm. I mean, I think you're going to find this property. And we found it, 109 units. And I gave that investor 40.43% back per year, him and other people. Over 40%. They just made a believer out of them. He invited me on a Starbucks with 7 of his friends. They didn't even let me pay for the coffee. And they gave me $29 million, him and his buddies, because they were all entrepreneurs, IT people. They kept on putting more money into my deals. It's not that easy, but it's not that hard. See, the thing is, you say, Vinny, I just make a goal to talk to friends and family, say, I'm looking at a real estate, market is turning. If you need some PowerPoints or something from me, just tell me, I'll send it to Walter. And we're designing some new PowerPoints in showing the turn in the real estate coming up now. And you could show it to your friends and say, hey, if I have a good deal, would you invest 50,000? Would you invest 100,000? It's mind blowing. You can really do it. I know you can. Sorry, I get into this rhythm because unless you know how to raise money and money is freely all around you, all around you. My students, my other students are raising, I mean, some big ones are raising like 50, 60, 100 million in few years, in just 2 years, you know? So if they can do it, I know anybody, everybody can do it.
So let's give Vinny Chopra a round of applause. I wanted to
Okay.
emphasize it because it's important. Capital raising is a tool we're going to talk about at the summit this year. It's because its importance of, and if you've ever watched any kind of business, and I not to hammer this too hard. By the way, show fans view get the message. The idea is it's better to go in with more money in a deal that you know is going to be a great deal than it is to go in with small money. Excellent. Go back and watch Great Men of America, the men who built America, the great corporations of America. Like there's all these shows about like going back to the Titans. Titans of America is another one. Go back and watch those. They're absolutely amazing. I've watched them 2 or 3 times. I love watching them every year. The one thing you see in common is they went to the market and they raised capital. Every single one of them, without deviation, every single one of them went and they actually raised capital to go and fulfill on this thing because they didn't have the money to do it. Morgan Stanley, every one of them. It's a absolutely amazing, those documentaries. All right, so I'd like to go to a couple of questions, and then like I do every Saturday, I'm going to take my son swimming because if we do live in Florida and pools are abundant, and if he ever falls in water, I want to make sure he knows how to get his ass out of the water. So it is part of my commitment to his life is to train him on how to swim. Let's also give Doug McGurk, Billy Reuter, Mitch Jorsky. They're speaking at the summit this year. They're going to be giving us a ton of value. Mitch is going to be talking about buying real estate with his partner. This is just one partner buying real estate and scaling up and becoming financially free, both of them. Billy's going to be talking about how he's owned 5 businesses, how he's built people into 6-figure earners with predictable profits. Doug McGurk will be working up with our mindsets all through the weekend. He's worked with Tony Robbins and trained Tony Robbins people for years and years. And then he went off on his own, helping people get out of addiction. And now he's helping people get out of the addiction of being stuck on money and helping them get to financial freedoms with us in Alchemist Nation, as well as a real estate investor. All of us are real estate investors. In fact, Billy even owns his own construction company. Gary Aker will be speaking. I think Gary's still on a call somewhere. He's speaking on leadership. So leading ourselves to go and do the things we want to do. And then for some of you, leadership and building culture and getting you to be able to have other people do a thing for you. And then I will obviously be talking a lot about the 7 streams of income. I will be talking about real estate investing specifically on Friday night. And more importantly, you will have a plan to become financially free within the next year, within the next 365 days. If you do not implement that, don't worry. There is a contract you'll be signing with me at the summit, the Millionaire contract. It is something that we've had every single year, and every year that we've done it, we've actually increased the likelihood of a person becoming a millionaire. I'll be revealing how many millionaires we built this year. Note, we'll be changing. I'll be releasing our newest version of our coaching program. That will be coming out this summit as well. I'll be explaining it. It's simplified. It's more simple than things we've done in the past, and it's more effective than things we've done in the past. Every year we do improve, and every year we do release a new version of it. So very excited about this one, and I can't wait to hang out with each of you in person. Let's get a couple questions from the room. Questions or shares? First on mute wins. Richie Decker chose you. You've been voluntold.
I would like to say something at the summit, and I'll say it now. I'm not at the consultant level, but I like to talk about how Alchemist Nation changed my life and how what Walter talks about works, like the principles in the Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, which Walter's living, and all that stuff. It works. And a few months ago, Walter said in one of these classes on Saturday that if you're not making 6 figures, it's a work ethic thing. So I admit it right there. I'm not at 6 figures. It's a work ethic thing. And then instead of getting more busy, I started developing my time to do what made money. So I'm very grateful to this community. When I first joined, I really didn't know what it was. I thought it was an opportunity for public speaking. I like Stephen Beaver. I do miss him. I really want to thank Walter and the team for the work they've done the last year to really grow this and how they personally helped me. And thank you guys so much.
Give Richie Decker a round of applause. One of our coaches, he's helping others increase their income as well, removing blocks from their mindset on why they're not earning. In fact, I set Richie the charge. I said, Richie, you need to have a perfect week because he set a goal of earning $1,000 in a day. I said, I love the idea of $1,000 a day. Then he broke it. He did it. And then he earned $6,000 in a week. And now it's a matter of being consistent. Can he do $1,000 in a 2-week period every day for 2 weeks? And I count 5 days of working because I want him spending 2 days completely free to himself. And he also has another rule, 6 hours of work only. So he has to become more efficient within every single hour that he's working because he wants to spend the other half of his time with his children, and his wife. So fans, if you understand, the rules are for a reason. Richie's following the rules. He's doing absolutely amazing. Let's give him a big round of applause. I love it. Get another share. Go ahead, Billy Reuter.
What's up, guys? I'll make this super fast. So every day in the gym, I do a stair climber. It's absolutely brutal after my workout. So I'm always trying to watch something pretty insightful. And today there was an awesome quote. So if you can visualize me hunched over, sweating, breathing heavy, trying to screenshot this quote so I can share it today, please understand the effort that went through me sharing this. This comes from this guy, Alex Sharpen, who's a great entrepreneur. Man, this one quote really synchronized entrepreneurship, and it really kind of hit me really strong, and I want to share it with you guys. It is, we are the small percentage of the population that goes into the future, imagines a new reality, comes back to the present, and insists it becomes real. So that to me, as I'm, sweating and breathing heavy like an ox on a farm, just landed, and I think that's something that we could all take with us, where everything we do is not just for today. Right, 52 weeks of wealth, amazing. Saturdays from 10 to 11:30-ish, right? We're all together as a powerful community, but we're not just here for today. We're here to plant seeds for our future, have a better tomorrow, a better next week, a better next month, better year. And that's really what it is, right? Entrepreneurs, what makes us different is we can see in the future. That's one of the biggest characteristics of an entrepreneur, is getting clarity of the compelling vision that we're all committed to creating. People that are not like us, no shame and no guilt, they're stuck in their perspective. They're stuck in their reality. What they see is what it is. We know there's something better. We know we're the conduit of creation. We know that we have the power to produce a life that is extraordinary no matter what. No matter what our past looks like, no matter our bad week last week, no matter a hurricane, no matter whatever life throws at you, your perspective will prevail. I love you all. I hope that served you. Can't wait to see you guys.
Let's give Billy Reuter a round of applause. Man, talk about having no power. That is, man, it's frustrating. But I drove by a lot of houses on my way from Orlando back to Tampa, back to home, and I saw a lot of houses flattened. I saw a lot of houses underwater. I saw fences destroyed, cars sideways, garages sitting on top of power lines. And I know that there's a lot of devastation right now in Florida, and I am absolutely thankful. And I know there's no way I can say this and not sound like a self-entitled little spoiled brat, but I busted my ass for 16 years to get financial freedom, and being able to spend the weekend with my son safe in a hotel and having power to work the whole time on the PowerPoint presentations I'll be doing at the summit, I feel like the absolute greatest joy for all the work and all the hard work I did. And yeah, it sucked, man. For 6 of those years, it was a fucking grind. 6 of those years were terrible torture. I've been financially free for the last 8 years. I'll actually be celebrating my 9th year of financial freedom on February 27th. So that's coming up. And I thank you. It is, man, such a blessing. I want each of you to experience it. At the summit every year for the last 5 years, I've worked hard to make the summit simpler to implement, easier to take the strategies and put them throughout the year. And this year is no difference. I think my son's helped me simplify things because things have to be simple for him. So I plan on presenting financial freedom in a way that is unlike something you've seen ever before. And I want to build a plan with you for the year to implement financial freedom within a year. Remember, it took me 2 years. I started when I was 28 and I was financially free by 30, and I was a millionaire by 32. There's no doubt that being financially free made being a millionaire a lot easier. But I'm going to show you how to do both at the same time within a year. And then by 34, I was a multimillionaire. At 34, I decided I was going to go out and build millionaires. Some crazy shit hit my head. I said, I got to show people how this thing works. It's been almost 5 years of doing that. The summit celebrates my 5th year of working with this community, building this community, and teaching, guiding. So I'm very blessed to be supporting each of you throughout the year. I can't wait to see you in person. That being said, find a way to get to the summit. find a way. I checked the hotel out. I was through the hardest storm we've had in the Central Florida, and I didn't feel the storm once. Didn't even know that shit was going down. They had me up on the 12th floor, all the way up on the 11th floor. And that building is completely safe. So no matter what happens, we're getting together in Orlando on the 18th to the 20th. VIPs, we are there on the 17th. VIPs, by the way, be there early. Networking starts at 9. It is non-negotiable that you be there at 9 o'clock. We have to know each other before we go spend the next 12 hours together building our leadership and strategy. So cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best. I cannot wait for you to see what Doug McGurk does on Saturday. It is a mind-blowing experience. Friday night, mind-blowing experience. VIPs, I have to warn you, I've got Doug on Thursday with us. Mind-blowing experience. Nothing I can tell you beyond that. So I'll see you on the next one. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best.
The best.
In a few days in Orlando.
So you're right. Appreciate you, brother.